Shay, aka the Salty Stitcher, here on YouTube, and this is my like 7th floss tube, which would put me at around about 12 or 13 videos, which I don't know. I don't keep track of it. I'm really bad about keeping track of it. That is not my forte. I don't know why I thought it would be. I think I've been doing this for about 3 months, which is kind of exciting. If I'm right in what number I'm on, then I've been doing this for about 3 months, which is pretty cool. Doing this, what I mean by this is doing a floss tube. This is a floss tube, as opposed to like one of my Stitchy First, where I talk about Stitchy First type things, like either first things for me or first things for other, like, anyways, firsts of some sort, something that I have not shown or done before. As a floss tube, we'll do all the floss tubey things. I'll show you my whips. I'll show you my finishes. I have a couple actually. We'll show you my new plan, or not show you, but talk about new plans, talk about stuff that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing because honestly I have enough stuff going on. But yeah, we'll talk about floss tubes, we'll talk about stuff like that. Before I talk about floss tubes, I'm going to talk about something new that I might be putting in a video next week. So, Threadalog had a update. I am the only person who cares about this because I am the only person nerdy enough to care about this. But Threadalog, which is the app I use to track thread amounts and like where my thread is and like my floss is, has an update. So they've added a project and pattern feature. And so what you can do is you can go in and add in all the colors for a certain project. I'm still playing around with it, but if anyone's interested in it, let me know, obviously. But if I find that it might be something that I like to talk about for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever, then I might do a video that no one cares about next week. That's okay. I don't mind. I'm interested to see what I can do with this and how I can utilize this to kind of make myself a bit more organized. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to not have enough to talk about. The reality is, if no one is interested in this, I might do 2 videos next week and just find something else to talk about because I've got plenty to talk about, and kind of go from there, because I don't imagine that a video about Threadalog will be particularly long anyway, so maybe that will be like a floss tube extra if you want to call it that. But anyways, I'm excited about that. I'm a nerd. If you're also interested in hearing more about it, let me know. I will make a video for sure. Might be my next week's video. The other thing that I've started doing that's kind of new in my stitching game, if you will, is I've been using these like plastic thread keeps. You can get them on Amazon for a while now, and I like them. This is really messy, and I probably shouldn't have shown you, but it's okay. I don't care. It is real life. This is not highly produced. Sorry. I am not a highly produced person, to be completely honest. But I've been using these plastic ones. The only problem with these plastic ones is I have not been able to find a permanent marker that won't scratch off the top. Like the numbers won't scratch off. And that makes things difficult. Plus it makes me slightly worried because I'm worried that I will not know what this color is. I have a DMC thread card, so if I needed to, I can kind of dig through and figure out. But I'd rather not have to worry about that. So what I'm planning on doing is changing over to wooden thread keeps that have numbers, right? And just finding some way to log what number it is on any given project's thread keep. I'm still going to keep the shared ones because the shared ones just really are the easiest thing I could possibly do, to be honest. So I'll have shared ones. What I mean by that is I'll have shared floss keeps that these are colors that are used by multiple projects, and then each project also has its own floss keep, right? And so I'm going to figure that out. I have some coming from Etsy and I have some coming from Amazon, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see. So that's a plan, sort of a new thing that I'm doing with my stitching just to make my life a little bit easier. And then the Threadalog update is also a slightly new thing, and I'm very excited about. So we'll figure out how that goes. Floss tubes. I've not watched a lot of floss tubes. Partially this is because I am doing like I'm not going to reiterate. I'm going to reiterate it again, to be honest. I'm a nerd. I've been doing a training for a new, like a type of therapy certification training on my way to work. Like I listen to it on my way to work. So I haven't been listening to floss tubes as often. By the way, in case you're worried about it, I don't watch floss tube while I'm driving. I just listen to it. I turn the video off. I don't have the video on so I can see it at all. I just like to listen to them talk, which sometimes means I have to go back and rewatch it so that I can figure out what they're talking about. But I've been enjoying it. So instead of watching as much Flosstube as I would like to watch, I've been watching, or listening rather, to a lot of training on my way to work, which is something I find interesting. So I've also been watching a lot of TV, right? So while I was sick, I'll back up a little bit. When I was filming my last Flosstube, so 2 weeks ago, I had a moment where I was like, I don't know why I'm suddenly so stuffy. Like, I felt fine, and then all of a sudden I was just like could not breathe through my nose. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just allergies. I had COVID, caught COVID from work, which has happened a gazillion and a half times. And so while instead of watching Flosstube when I was sick, because I didn't think about it, I guess, I watched a lot of TV shows, and I got back into a TV show called Turn, which is about the American Revolution. Well, I've watched it through a couple different times, but I rewatched that. And then I started watching Under the Banner of Heaven, which is about a real life, like a true crime murder in like a suburb of Salt Lake City. It's on Hulu. It's really good. It's about, kind of talks about like the culture of Mormonism, and Mormonism is not LDS culture. I'm not LDS. I'm former Baptist, but lapsed Baptist. I don't know what you want to call me. But it was interesting because it was a culture that I'm not really 100%, or not even a little bit familiar with, because I'm not even from like Salt Lake, obviously, either. And so, I don't know. I've been watching that a lot. Interesting. Actors are really fantastic. It has Andrew Garfield, and then the reason why I started watching it is because one of the actors is Seth Numerick, who is in Turn. And so I tend to, I like one thing by someone, so I go and I watch all the rest of the stuff I can. That's how I am with Flosstubes. That's how I am with TV and movies as well. But anyways, actors are really fantastic. Like, they did a really good job, and it's really very interesting in the way that it, like, the concept and the culture around this crime and anything. Anyways, I've also been watching a lot of Rachel Oates, which she is not a Flosstuber. She's like a video essay kind of YouTuber. Watching a lot of her. I've been keeping up with all my regulars like Crow Stitcher and Cross Stitch the Globe. There we go, Lord. Sonia S., who's one of my stitchy friends here in San Antonio. I watched her most recent video, which was a lot of fun. She is so freaking organized, y'all. Like, I couldn't keep it straight. Like, I just really couldn't. She also has really cute doggies that were in the video too. And I caught up with Beck Stitches Everything's last video. I think I finished it. I might need to go back and finish it. This is also part of the problem, is I watch it while I'm doing something and then get distracted. I have a lot of new Flosstubers that I've added, that I've recently followed, or subscribed to rather, that I will be catching up with. So megastitches, Britches Get Stitches, OG Stitchery, Critter Stitcher, Jen's Fiberweb, JoAnntheEclecticStitcher, my handwriting is so bad, Cam the Stitcher, Day by Day with Dana, Wilson Stitch Co., and Beck's Bin. I've actually been kind of interacting with Beck through our Shadow Stitcher like group chat on Insta. She's super fun. I just need to go back and watch her videos, because I've been doing 15,000 other things instead of what I should be doing, which is normal. The grand majority of these peeps I have met through Midsummer Stitch. So I did Midsummer Stitch a week ago rather, last weekend. And it was just a lot of fun. I had other things to do. I had a tattoo appointment, so I wasn't there for most of the day on Saturday, which is kind of sad. But they were a blast. This was just, it was the Come Sal Away With Me group, table, whatever you want to call it. And they were just a blast. And so we shared Flosstubes and all that kind of stuff afterwards. So I have a lot of people I need to catch up on. Just not a lot of people I've started watching yet, because I've been watching 50,000 other things instead. But let's get started with showing you works. So I've got a finish and a finish for now. So this is my finish. Good. Okay, I think you can see it. This is my finish. This is my Mill Hill Wanda's Wands, and it is 100% done. It is 100% done. And it was actually quite a bit of fun. So I'm glad that I decided to start beading with something that is a lot smaller than my Mirabilia, because I do think my Mirabilia, when I get to the point of stitching, which won't be forever nowadays, when I get to that point, I want to be able to have a bit more confidence, and this was fun to kind of build some confidence and learn some tips and tricks. Did a whole video on this last week on kind of doing the beading for it and all that kind of stuff, but it's done. And I did my little bead, button. So there's that. This is a finish for now. This is the Wanderer 2 SAL by quaternion stitches. Make sure you can see it all. Yas. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. Okay, I think that's better. So this is a monthly SAL. It comes out on the 15th every month, and it is a black work SAL with some cross stitch. So this is the most recent one. This is Kuala Lumpur. Make sure you can actually see. This is Kuala Lumpur here. And it was a lot of fun. It was a bit difficult, I'm not going to lie. Some of it was a bit hard to get set, and as per usual, I messed it up. So there's some, I forget what it is. Oh, this is 1 stitch shy. So it should have been 6 stitches, but it's actually 5 stitches on here. But it didn't affect anything, so I just kind of fudged it and went with it. I usually prefer to fudge if I can, but I will see in a little bit that I've had to do some major frogging this past couple weeks as well. But this is quaternary stitches. This is the Wanderer 2, so there's another one in my finishes that I need to show you all. I need to do like a finish parade of all the finishes I've done in the past little bit that I have access to. But yeah, this one comes out once a month. It's pretty fun. It doesn't take me too long to do generally, and yeah, I like it. I like that we get to go to all these different places. So Kuala Lumpur, super fun. I liked, a lot of times it's these like patterns that are my favorite part of it. And this pattern was very difficult here at the bottom, which I don't know if you can see. But these patterns down here were very difficult to get to lay neatly without puckering weird or doing something like that. But those are my finishes. So one's a finish and one's a finish for now. And then starts. So new starts. I have officially started the Herbalist SAL. Herbalist SAL. This is Herbalist by WorldOnAStringByDara, and I've been doing the Weeks Dye Works. It's a Weeks Dye Works moss. This is what all this green is. I just stopped to catch up on SALs that are currently going, that I'm like the styles I'm caught up on in essence. But this is Herbalist. It's actually smaller than I thought it was, so I have a whole bunch of extra fabric here, which I will probably do something else with. But this is 18 count Ada by Picture This Plus in Ancient, I believe. I'll pop up if that's wrong, but it's Ancient. And then this is Weeks Dye Works Moss, and then the rest of everything else is DMC. So this is where I'm at. I've just been doing this because if I can get the boxes going, and then I can do the border, it's a lot faster after that because everything's very tiny, as you can see. Like you're looking at like a couple hundred stitches per box per release technically. I want to catch this one up because it should be ending soon. So. That's all of my starts. I haven't started anything else as far as I can remember. I have some plans because I'm, really interested in like making my life more difficult. Oh, here it is. I have a lot of plans because I'm really interested in making my life more difficult. I'm a little bit messy today, guys. I don't really quite know why, but it is what it is. It's also kind of hot in here, so I might have to fix the But this is my Blackwork SAL. It is not caught up because and I'll explain why it's not caught up in a little bit. But this is my Blackwork SAL. I think the last things you guys would have seen is probably this one here, which make sure you can see. Probably this one here, which is this one here. I think everything else you'd already seen. So I've got 2 more I have to do. I'm 2 weeks behind because of another SAL being a lot. But this is Blackwork SAL, Blackwork, like a floral year-long Blackwork SAL by Steady Thread. This is weekly. You can find it for free on Facebook, at the Facebook group for it. At the end of the year, she will collect all of those and sell them on her Etsy shop. So if you want to do it for free, you should go and download and start it now. But this is the Blackwork Floral SAL. I have 2 versions of it. If you've been on one of my Flosstubes before, you know why I have 2 versions of it. And that is because I started on linen because I always forget that I don't like linen in blackwork. I don't like it. It looks messy. It looks puckered. It looks weird. I can't get it to lay straight, but I'm not going to waste it after I've done all this work. So instead, I also started it on Ada. This is the most recent here. This little, like, almost like, I kind of thought of them as, what are they called? There's a name for them. The official name for them is Narcissus, but I can't remember what the actual name is. You see them all over the place. They're on my screen, my computer screen. There's They're one of my favorite flowers, and I can't remember the name of them. Anyways, if I remember, I'll put it in here. I don't know what the name is. But anyways, I thought they would look really good in yellow because most of these flowers are either white or yellow anyways. What the fuck are they called? Jeez Louise. I can't remember. It's okay. Tis what it is. We'll just keep on going. But that is the Steady Thread Year-Long Sal on Facebook. I'm behind. They're pretty quick, so I think I can get them fixed up tomorrow. But I've just not had time to worry about it. Mostly because I've just been doing one other thing. Another thing that's been driving me nuts. This is another Blackwork Sal I have going on. This one is by RavenStitchCraft. This is the Moonlit Market Sal. I don't know if you guys can hear the cicadas, but they just started up. I don't know if you can hear that. This is Moonlit Market by RavenStitchCraft. This is my most recent one. It's Kelpie Tears, and it's really fun. Like, I don't know. This is another one I have 2 versions of, and we're almost done. I think I have one left that I need to do, so I think I'm behind a week from last week, but I don't think she's released the other one yet. So I don't think so. I have to go look. But I think there's only like one left after I finish that one, which is kind of sad, but also I'll be glad that they're done and I don't have to worry about them anymore. Blackwork Sal, Moonlit Market, RavenStitchCraft. This is the Ada version, which is in like a dark color palette. So the dark color palette. And then this is the more brights color palette. Kelpie Tears is also on a smaller count as well. This is probably a 32 count versus a 14 count. Ada. Like linen versus Ada. But again, started on linen. Don't like how linen looks when it's like Blackwork looks on linen because it just gets janky. And yeah. It's behind. It's behind just like the other one. About a week behind. So, but I'm almost done with it, which is kind of sad. That's kind of sad. I've had a lot of fun with it. Here's another technically behind Sal. This is, I'm just going to fold it in half because this is a pretty big piece of linen. This is Monster House by Satsuma Street. This is a Sal that just started a couple weeks ago. The second part of it is available now. I'll start it probably tomorrow if I can't do it sooner than that. It's this section right here that's next. This is Picture This Plus, probably 32 count. It might be 14 count. I think it's 32 count. 32 count linen by Picture This Plus in Haunted. And it's actually quite a bit darker than is called for. The called for is like raw linen. And I just wanted it to be more fun than, like if it's monsters, I want it to be like monsters. If that makes any sense at all. So I've had to do some back stitching on his jacket, and I'll have to do some on this side too in order for everything to be seen. But this is, I had started this just barely in my last Flosstube. I only had like a couple lines here. And so this is the completed first release, and there's just a second release I will be doing this weekend, hopefully. Super fun. He's super cute. I think his name should be Edgar. I don't know why I think he should be Edgar. But Edgar sounds like a good name for like a skeleton butler. Edgar it is. Edgar it is. Edgar has a different meaning here in San Antonio. He's not that kind of Edgar. At least I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he is that type of Edgar. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. So that's Monster House by Satsuma. It is not behind, but I need to catch up, if that makes sense. Same thing here. This is my Deadly Aquarium. Sorry guys, I'm trying a different like tripod, and I'm not quite sure about it yet. But I like, anyways, I can talk about that another day. This is Deadly Aquarium. It is caught up. It's not caught up, but it's not behind, because there's one more. We finally get sharks, which is kind of what I was hoping for a lot sooner. If my sister likes this, my sister loves sharks. If my sister likes this, I might give it to her. Maybe. If it's something that she'll actually want. If she doesn't want it, then I'll keep it, because I do like it. But there's a hammerhead and a barracuda here that I need to do. It's about 1,000 some stitches. The Satsuma Street is also, the release is probably around that as well. Maybe not quite 1,000. So this is Deadly Aquarium by Lilacro Stitch, and it is not caught up, but it is not behind yet either. This is 32 count weeks in seafoam. I believe it's 32 count. I like it. I actually really like their linen. I didn't think I would, because I'd heard some things about it being kind of dry or kind of stiff. Not stiff necessarily, but like, dry makes sense. Dry is the only word I can think of. Similarly to their floss, the floss can be a little bit dry as well. But I actually kind of like the way this linen feels. It's very soft, and it is easy for me to scrunch up because I stitch in hand, so it's pretty easy. I like it. I also really, come on now, come back. I also really like these stingrays. I should have pointed that out. I really like these stingrays. I was told during the Midsummer Stitch that some people were having issues with the stingrays. I don't know if it's just that they didn't bring down their fabric enough, like start farther down enough that it wouldn't be an issue. This is the called for linen. And so for me, I just centered it because I wasn't going to use it for anything else. And it was the called for size and everything. So some people are having issues, I think, with this stingray because this stingray is above the frame. And so if you didn't leave yourself enough room, that stingray might not be able to be put like in a frame, if that makes sense. Like you might not be able to frame the fabric because of it. So just be careful with that. If you haven't already started it and you're planning on starting it, start in the center of the fabric if it's the called for size. That way you don't have to worry about it. Okay? Okay. I don't know why I said that. But anyways, week's dye works. Deadly Aquarium, Lola Crow. I'm going to go for this one next instead of the one that I had on the top because I will have some things to say about the other one. This is almost caught up. So it was caught up until the most recent release, which is Snow White here. Make sure you can see as much of her as possible. Good. This was my COVID project. I did all of this in like the 3 or 4 days, pretty much. I mean, except from what I'd already done. But I did all of this in 3 or 4 days when I was sick because I wasn't doing anything. I couldn't go anywhere. Like, I sounded horrible, but I felt well enough to stitch, so this is what I did. This is the most recent release, which is where you can see my needle because that's what I'm working on. Yeah. This is, oh, I didn't say yet. This is Forest Fairy Tale Sal by Maria, or Quaternion Stitches. It is not caught up, but it will be caught up most likely by the end of the day, hopefully, if I get it done. But this is, sorry, I thought I heard patter feet, which I thought might be dogs trying to get in the room. I closed the door because there was lots of noise, but it's hot in here, so I shouldn't have closed the door. Anyways, this is almost caught up. This is Snow White, and so there's some dwarves, and it kind of like arches out this way. But yeah, it's almost there. This one I was really surprised at how quickly I actually got it worked up once I was able to put time into it. And last but not least is the Vampire SAL, which I love. I am not in any way, shape, or form disillusioned with it. But this one was a pain in my butt this past week. This one took all week long. Now, partially, that is because it is an absolutely huge release. This is about 2,000 stitches, which most of my releases, even releases that have pretty big releases, like Deadly Aquarium is around about 1,000 stitches every week, or every release. Forest Fairy Tale is about 1,000 stitches every release, right? Maybe 1,500, right? Which I'm pretty quick. I stitch in hand. I'm very fast. I stitch Victorian as well, which makes it a bit faster as well, I think. So I'm a speed stitcher. Like I'm not taking my time, right? Which is how I like to stitch. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I am enjoying it. But this was about 2,000 stitches, which is a lot for one release. Now this is a monthly release, which is why I think it was okay. Like, why, if I was only doing this, it wouldn't have been a problem, because I can do 2,000 stitches in a month without a problem. 2,000 stitches in a couple of days, which is what I normally like to do for each SAL release, is, it was a lot. So I started this on Sunday last week. So it was pretty much a full week, because I finished this release last night. I ended up staying up way later than I normally would. I am not a night person at all. I ended up staying up way later than I normally would, because I was trying to finish this, because I wanted it done. Good thing is this release didn't have any back stitching, which sometimes is something that will slow me down a little bit as well, because I have to finish that part up. This release consisted of this lovely lady here, who I don't know. She's cute. She's real cute. These stakes here, and then both of these wings, right? If you can see them. Yeah, you can. Okay, good. Both of these wings, right? So it's about 2,000 stitches. And the problem was this upside down cross here was stitch down, and like a row down and 2 rows over, or something to that effect. So it was wrong. It didn't look wrong until I put this wing in. And then this wing had to be frogged out. Not 100%. I was only on the black, which is lucky. But it was still about about 500 stitches. I had to frog out and redo after I redid this little cross. And I kind of buggered up my fabric a little bit. I don't know if you can tell because I hide it well, but I actually cut my fabric a bit more than I meant to, which is none at all. I don't want to. Anyways, despite that, I love this fabric. I love this SAL. I think it's super fun. I love the way she uses color and shading and all that kind of stuff. Like, I love this wing. Like, the bony part of this wing is super cute. Yeah, I love it. But it's also like, dude, that was a lot. It was a lot, and I had to fuck it up. Sorry. I'm going to bleep myself out because I've cussed already a couple times in this video. And I'm sorry if it offends you. I just don't think about it. I cuss a lot. It's my main way of catharsis. And actually, research shows, I don't know if you know this, but research shows that cussing releases endorphins, which helps with pain management. Just saying. Just saying. Anyways, I don't mean to cuss to offend anyone. I just do it out of habit. But yeah, so I messed it up. Had to frog out all the black in this wing. I think everything else was fine. Because I think what I'd done is I'd gone from this wing up here and then down this way. But this wing, because I was basing it off of this cross, it was wrong. So I had to redo that, which is about 500 stitches, not 5,000 stitches. So that is my Vampirum SAL. And that is all of my whips as far as I know. I meant to do some work on my Long Dog, and I meant to do some work on my Mirabilia. I did not. I probably wouldn't have been able to, even if that was a quicker stitch, if that makes sense. But just a lot going on. But caught up on my Forest Fairy Tale SAL, which is good because I was like 3 weeks behind. And then I think once I catch up on my Herbalist, it'll be pretty quick and easy, right? Plans. So plans are more SALs. That's the reality of my life. I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. I do too many SALs. It's okay. I do SALs so that everyone else can see me do SALs and then decide if they want to do them themselves. I also just really enjoy them and they work with my brain. I have ADHD. I've probably said it before. But I like SALs because I can chunk things and because I can keep myself motivated. Like, sometimes it's a bit difficult for me to motivate myself through a big project. Not always, but it can be. And that's just because I get bored, right? With a release like that I get every week, it's a lot easier for me to stay motivated in it and get it done. And the urgency helps a little bit with that as well. So, plans, map, M-A-P, M.A.P. By Ink Circles is a SAL that is using, in essence, based on like the Dungeons and Dragons maps, right? Mysterious Adventure Project, I think is what it actually stands for. I think it's what Ink Circles has said it stands for, is Mysterious Adventure Project. It is going to be a map, right? It's actually a map. It's kind of like a fantasy Dungeons and Dragons type map. And the idea behind this is that you roll to determine where you're going to put stuff, what you're going to put there, where, right? I'll show you some fabric that I have that I got this past couple weeks that I'll be using for it because I think it'll be really interesting for it. I'll be starting that as soon as I possibly can because it's not super behind, but I have a feeling it's going to be a harder one for me to manage because it's going to be a lot of counting. It's going to be a lot of stop and go kind of things. And I have to figure out what fabric or what threads I'm going to use. So that's going to be part of it as well. I'm going to start the book of Fungi SAL. I'm probably going to finish, well, if I get to it before the SAL ends, I'm going to start it. If I don't get to it before the SAL ends, it'll be in my plans for until the next time I need a big project, right? Because it's going to be ending in August, I think, so I'm running out of time. So it may end up being just a regular plan where I just do it. Like it's not a SAL in that way. We'll see. We'll kind of see how that rocks out. But I want to start it. I started the Herbalist first, just by draw. This is the one I picked type of thing. Plants and Petrichor. So Femurs and Fungi SAL, which I finished couple months, earlier this month, I think was the end of it, by Fine Frog Stitching. It was so much fun. And so also much smaller chunks, so it's easier to kind of manage. So Plants and Petrichor is the next one, and it starts in August. I have fabric coming in from Witch's Garden Crafts, which is the called for fabric that was created for it. It is a beautiful teal. I'll have to put a picture in here so you can see from the Etsy, from Fine Frog's Etsy page. But it's a beautiful teal. I'm very excited. The idea is plants in like a window with some rain, it looks like. I'm very excited. I just loved it. I've shown you, I mean, you guys have all seen my fine frogs. My fine frog SAL, my femurs and fungi SAL, when I finished it, I think it was in my last video, on a really pretty like dark purple fabric by Witch's Garden Crafts. So I'm very excited. When I saw it, it was like popped up on my Etsy and I was like, ooh. So I think Fine Frog is going to be kind of one of those shops that I continually do their SALs, and if they put them out, I'm going to do it. I think that's probably going to be the same for Noctiflora, who is Vampirum. I don't know if I said that. Vampirum SALs by Noctiflora. But I'm just super excited about it. I saw it and I was like, yeah, it's happening. So map, Book of Fungi, Plants and Petrichor. Most likely I will not get to Book of Fungi before it ends, and so most likely that one will just be kind of a project that I do when I have time, right? Like one of my like main projects that I do while I'm waiting for SALs. But as soon as Plants and Petrichor is not what it's called. Plants and Petrichor is available, I will start that one on time. That's my plan, and I'm going to catch up. When I catch up with Herbalist, I'll probably do map, because I think that one's going to be more labor intensive and more easily attainable than trying to start Book of Fungi. Other plans, work on my Mirabilia, work on my long dog, and work on some of the Mill Hills. I bought some more Mill Hills from 123 Stitch. I have some new spooky Mill Hill kits, kind of similar to Wanda's wands, and I'm just going to kind of do those as I have time. I have Haunted Mansion in there, so I have Haunted Library. No, Haunted Library is the one that's not available right now. I have Haunted Laboratory. I have Haunted Hotel. I have like two more, I think, or one more. One of those two. But I have that coming, so that will be in a stash in the future. But those are just fun, and I like the beading on them, so I'll kind of do those as I want to, kind of thing. And partially in fulfillment of the Halloween is a lifestyle SAL, which never ends. So those are my plans. Those are some of my aspirations as well. I want to make sure I get some work on Mirabilia and Long Dog, because those bitches were expensive and I don't want to waste that money. So yeah, that's just the way it is. Stash and haul. I got some. As per usual, I do have some. Some of it is more interesting than other parts of it. I guess this is technically stash too. Let me organize. Okay, stay. All right. So this is technically, I guess you could call this stash. This is another like Amazon jewelry box that I have made into a stitchy box. So I need to do something here because this is ugly. But I made myself a little thread bed in here, and then I just have all my little stuff that I like to keep. Part of this is because when I am by myself in the house, I tend to stitch downstairs, and this means I can just close it up and take it with me. But yeah. I also glued, this is the first time I've done this, I glued a little magnet here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm hoping that can kind of work as a needle minder. And then I have a needle minder here too, but she and that magnet don't get along. So, so there you go. But yeah, so that's technically a stash because that was this week. I had another one that's smaller, and it was just too small. And I was breaking up the zipper. So there you go. This is all from Forbidden Fiber Co. So I'm going to do all of it at the same time. I got some of the stuff that was on clearance. Sorry, let me clear this out. Part of it's kind of interesting. So part of it is something that I would not have normally bought for myself, which is kind of exciting. So this is all from Forbidden Fiber Co. Sorry, sorry for crinkles. If you don't like crinkles, I'm sorry. This is what I'm thinking I'm going to use for map. And that is because I think it'll be a really interesting kind of like fantasy, but slightly kind of almost aged. It's called Sherbert. This was my my fabric of the month. I think this will just be really cool. So it depends on if I can get color choices to kind of fulfill what I need for it, and that will work for this. We'll see. I've got plenty of freaking floss. So like, let's be real. I got plenty of floss. But I think this will be really interesting because I think that this will be kind of like my thought, the vibe I have in my head, is that this will be like fantasy aged map background. Or like someone dropped wine or something. I don't know. I don't freaking know. But I think it'll be cool. And I think it's the right size. So this is Rainbow Sherbet. It's a 4th yard of 32 count Belfast by Forbidden Fiber Co. This is my fabric of the month. Oh damn. Sorry. I don't like to leave it out of the bag because 1, I'm clumsy, and 2, I will lose the little label, and I need that so I can remember what I got. Shoot. There we go. Okay. So this is from my floss of the month. So I've got both of them. I do both types of floss of the month. One of them is just flossing, which is just kind of a certain algorithm. I don't know what organization they use for that, but they just send 10 skeins of their normal floss, right? And then the other one is kaleidoscope. That's what it's called. It's kaleidoscope of floss or something to that effect, where they send 5 or 6, what we're about to see, 5 or 6, like one-of-a-kind limited edition type flosses, right? So this one is the kaleidoscope. Oh, sorry for the crinkles. I kept them separated so I could remember which one was which, to be honest. So this is kaleidoscope. Again, this is like 5 skeins of 15-yard skeins of limited edition one set. So they're not part of the normal lineup, right? So they don't always have names sometimes either. So I have these. Ooh, some of these would look really good in my mat project. So we'll see. That's what I'm planning on doing. I didn't say that, I don't think. But I'm planning on Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric, and honestly, Forbidden Fiber Co. floss, because I have a lot of it that I haven't been using, and I have a lot of it from these like subscriptions that are like 1 or 2 floss or 1 or 2 skeins at a time, right? One skein at a time, even usually. And so if I have enough of a color that I need, because the way that the map project has it is it's just like you need this many skeins of this many colors of purple, or this many colors of brown, or this many colors of, right? And so, or this many yards, not skeins necessarily. And so you can use really whatever you want. Like literally in the instructions, Ink Circles, whose name I can never remember. I don't know if I've ever heard her actual name, to be honest. Ink Circles designer says this is something that you can do stash diving with, because that's what it's kind of meant for. So my plan is to do fancy floss for all of it. We'll see if that works, because I have a lot of floss that I'm not planning on using. So this is from the Kaleidoscope Club, if you want to call it that. I forget exactly what it's called. It'll be in my description. Forbidden Fiber Co. And then this is the Just Flossing Club. Just Flossin' Club, and then this is from their main line, so it's 10, I believe, 12. Can I count? I don't know. 12. I think it's 12 skeins, and they're 10-yard skeins. Yeah, approximately 10 yards. From their actual normal line of floss, right? So this is how you build up like a collection of them, in essence, right? So I have two floss subscriptions, and I also have their fiber of the month, or fabric of the month. Jeez Louise. So again, I'm planning on using the fabric of the month with floss from Forbidden Fiber Co. as well. So that's the plan. That's the plan. I think I can do it. All right. This is from just a regular old order. This is not subscription. I bought their like fabric grab bag in the linen. So I got 3 different fabrics, and it was pretty like reasonable. That's why I did it. It was like $30 for like a grab bag of linen, right? So I've got 1/8 of a yard of Edinburgh linen in 36 count. I have 1/8 of a yard in this like really pretty pink color, or like pinky lilac-y color. And then I've got 1/8 of a yard in Edinburgh linen 36 count, which is what Edinburgh linen is, in this really pretty yellow, which if that's big enough, that might be really nice for the map if I can't work out the sherbet color. And then this is what I'm actually really interested in, because I have never used 40 count linen, and I've never wanted to use 40 count linen. 36 count is hard enough usually for me. My eyesight's decent. I mean, obviously I wear glasses, but my eyesight is decent. But when it comes to like, I don't know, we'll see. This is beautiful though, and this is a 4th yard, a fat quarter of Newcastle, which is a 40 count, and this really pretty mottled blue. So I don't know, I just find something. Plus this 40 count, which means that this can be like multiple packages if we're really honest with that. Really honest with that, I don't know what that means. Really, like if I'm really careful about how I cut, like I can get multiple projects out of this because it's 40 count and it's tiny. But yeah, I've never done it before. We'll see. So that's the fabric grab it bag. And then I got 2 clearance project bags. I got Be Kind, We Can't Rewind, and this cute one with like with this little guy. These are smaller than I thought they would be, but they're fun. So I think they make really good notion bags for me, or like ways to carry my stitchy case and other stuff around with me. So they were on sale. So that's why I got them. Oh, I didn't realize I had little fobs. Those are cute. Those are really cute. Anyways, cute. They're also like a canvas. They're really nice. I think those will probably be pretty easy to keep clean too. And then these I think must have either been, these must have been, should be in here, huh? They're either freebies or I don't remember buying them, which is always a possibility. Maybe I just need to get, yeah, no, they're freebies. They're 100% freebies. They're not even on my invoice. But these are 2 more colors. These are one of a kind, number 141 and 111. And this is a beautiful color, which might be really fun for my map. I'm very excited about my map. Okay, so that's all my Forbidden Fiber Co. Stick this in so I don't lose that. This is Dying for Sass. I like floss. I like buying floss. If you make it easy for me to buy floss, I will buy floss. Partly I bought this because I wanted another option for my Dancing Witches, which I still haven't started. And that's just my own lack of planning. But I wanted something that was probably a little bit more neutral in case I chose a really wild color for the fabric. So this is Dying for Sass, Deep Space, and I have 60 yards, I think, of it. Because I also, like, part of the thing is if I buy something super neutral, then I can use it for just about anything else as well. So that's the plan. And then I also bought the Floss Vomit, which is just kind of like randos, it sounds like. So some of it is mist dye, some of it is like, I forget exactly how she explained it, but it's 50 yards total of different types of floss that can't be sold in its original state for whatever reason, right? So these don't have names, they don't have any things. If I need one of these for my map, I'm very excited about the map if you can't tell. I think it's going to be super fun. If I need one of these, I can probably substitute one of these out too, but I should have plenty of Forbidden Fiber Co, so I really shouldn't need to. That's Dying for Sass. I bought that on Etsy. And then this is my monthly project bag, my project bag of the month from Simply Norel, who I just love. Like, for the fact that it's frickin' from Australia, like, it gets here pretty quick. They're always super cute. I like the way these bags feel. Like, I like that they're not as structured, because I have some of the Golden Familiars ones. I love those as well. I like that those are structured and they're a bit stiffer. But I also like these because I just feel like they're comfortable to carry for me. She always sends goodies, so she always sends me some fun stuff. I think she sends other stuff too for peeps who can have it. But like, I think there's something that she couldn't send me. This is the exclusive pattern, which is kind of cute. I'm not a big flamingo person, but this is kind of cute. Exclusive pattern. And then she always sends a needle minder that matches, a floss, which actually I am using this one. I wonder if it's the same color dye lot. That might be helpful. And then she always sends a cute little card. So I like it. I will continue to buy from her because 1, I like her bags, but 2, like, I don't know. Again, in my head, this is coming from Australia. You can put low effort because you're sending it from Australia. And she never low efforts. It always looks super cute. She makes it super easy too. You can buy like the subscription on Etsy and then she'll send you PayPal invoices every month for it for like 4 months, I think, which I think is a really good way of doing that. But yeah, I will never not. As far as right now, I shouldn't say never, but I don't have any intention of ever stopping these because I just love them. I love them. So cute. Again, I'm not a big flamingo person, but I do like that. And then this is my last little thing, and this is just kind of a rando thing to include in here. I might not even show it on the overhead because it's really not that important. But on Midsummer Stitch, right? One of the things someone asked about cheap scissors, right? That were pretty good. Ah, Jesus, Lord, that thing is short. stay safe. Okay. So someone was asking for scissor recommendations. Sorry for the creaky. Someone was asking for scissor recommendations, and I want to say her name was Cindy. She's also lives in Texas. I forgot to ask her where she lives, but she recommended these scissors from Amazon. So they come with their own little things, and there were own little covers, little safety covers. They seemed very sharp just because I dropped it on my leg, and it seems sharp. They're tiny, which means that they'll be good for bags. So what she says she does is she buys them in bulk, because I want to say there's 25 scissors in here for $16, which is pretty good. And she just puts one in each of her project bags. I don't tend to stitch that way. Like, I don't tend to keep a pair of scissors in my project bag, but I do tend to break scissors or drop scissors or do something like that, because I'm dyspraxia is what I have. I'm not the most coordinated person on the planet. But yeah. So if you needed scissors and you like to have a pair of scissors for every project, 25 for $16, I'm pretty sure it was on Amazon. I can put, let's see if I can put a link for that in my description so you guys can find them. There's also smaller sets too. I went ahead and bought these because, again, I lose, I drop, all that kind of good fun junk. So you can never have enough scissors, right? That's pretty much all I got for you today, guys. I'm sorry if I was a bit silly and weird, but that is kind of norm for me now. If I end up doing the thread-a-log video next week, maybe what I'll also do, because I really don't think it'll be very long, maybe what I'll also do is maybe I'll start the map project next week for my Stitchy First, because it'll be the first time I've ever done a project like this where you have to, they say Ink Circles suggests obviously like a die, like a set of die for Dungeons and Dragons, but I have a crap ton of tarot cards, and I think I might do tarot cards instead to make my decisions, but we'll see. Anyways, if you're interested in that, that might also be a video for next week, just because I really don't think thread-a-log is going to take, I don't know. I am autistic. I might wax poetic about thread-a-log for the next year, but I was very excited. So anyways, we'll see. If that's something you're interested in, let me know down at the comments below. Let me know what you think. Sorry for cussing. I really don't mean to do it to be offensive. I just don't think about it. It's just the way I talk sometimes. I think that's it. Have a good day. Holler if you need me. I'll see you next time. Bye.